Hello 2020 sawubona mbukeli sesifikile thina nohlelo oluthanda kakhulu Yilungelo Lakho. It's your right khona la kumamba phambili phela SABC 1 eMzansi for sure. I'm hoping you all enjoyed your holidays and of course are ready to kick off your plans for 2020, and of course some students will also be grappling with what career paths they should be pursuing. Will a university degree be best suited to provide you the skills you need, or will a technical college or TVET training institute be the best to launch your career path? Well, today we look into what are some of the best skills and educational training options you are suited for to contribute meaningfully to the economy. Eyakajali intokazi yanibingelele ithi sanibonani ngo-2020 asihlale phezu kwendaba yethu. Njengoba ngishilo uyazi ukuthi sekuyisikhathi sokuthi phela silungiselele ubuyela ezikolweni. Umbuzo ke uthi, will your choice of career or occupation guarantee you a role to play in the changing economy? Well, experts say unless you choose something that will give you useful as well as adaptable skills, you could be limiting your ability and even limiting your ability to make a decent living. Ngaphambi kokuthi singene kwinkulumo yethu mbukeli, ake sizwe nanku umbiko.
Ukucutheka kwenani labantu abanobugcisa nezakhono yinto eyenza ixhala kumacandelo adlala indima ebalulekileyo kuqoqosho lwaseMzantsi Afrika. Ngakumbi kwixesha apho uqoqosho lweli lukhuphisana ngamandla nolwamanye amazwe. Ngekudala izaba luthontelwana kumaziko emfundo ephakamileyo. Imbali yasekhaya ke ithi uninzi lubeke ithemba lokungena kwidyunivesithi, nto engahlali kakuhle ncam nabo wajonge izinga lezakhono kuqoqosho.
In most cases, our students are limited in terms of what the options are. And I think that's probably through this program what should happen. We should open the eyes of students in terms of the whole spectrum of options that are there. Most times students don't know. So they're just forced. So you end up going to university. You want course 1 is full, course 2 is full. So you end up with course, what would have been maybe a 5th option or something that was not even an option for you. But everybody, you're under pressure to just to go to university and get a degree. So you just end up going to university. So you go in, you are saying, okay, let me do marketing. After 1 year, you realize, oh my God, I'm not a marketing person. And then you jump to accounts, you jump to this. So instead of getting in 4 years out, you go in and 6-7 years, you're still there.
Uthathu Simanga wangamele iphulo liqeqesha abantu abafuna izakhono zokwenza izixhobo ezisetyenziswa phantsi kumacandelo onke kuqoqosho. Insimbi Future Production Technologies Initiative bagxile kakhulu ekufundiseni ubuchwepheshe bokwenza nantoni na efunwa yimizimveliso jikelele. Umzekelo, phambi kokuba isixhobo sokulima okanye inqwelo-mafutha oyifunayo okanye umsesane womtshato ufumane sele uphelele, kufuneka ziyilwe kuqala, zivavanywe khona ukuze kubone ukuba ziwulungele na umsebenzi wazo. Yonke loo nto ifuna ubuchwepheshe obuthile. Usimanga uthi kubalulekile ukuba umfundi xa ekhetha ikhondo lomsebenzi ebeneliso elibukhali, agxile kwisakhono esakumsebenzela maxesha onke.
I can give you a famous example. Steve Jobs went to university, he didn't like it, but he stayed on to study calligraphy. And history, I mean, it's all history now, who Steve Jobs was and what he has done to us. But he probably went away without a degree. But he actually mastered calligraphy. And that's what became helpful to the world.
Uluphumzo Jacobs uzawuqala ibanga lokugqibela ugrade 12. Uze kuthi gangoku linye kuphela iziko lemfundo ebezibona igqithela kulo xa esahlukana nesikolo ukuphela konyaka.
Injongo zami kukuya e-university ndiyokwenza agricultural management. zinjongo zami ezo.
Uyayithanda agriculture?
Ndiyithanda gqithi, ndaqala kwa-grade 10 uyithanda.
Uye edyunivesithi liphupha layo nawuphi na umntwana wesikolo ingakumbi apha eMzantsi Afrika. Kodwa okaJacobs uthe akuhlala phantsi wabuza kwabakhe bayihamba le ndlela wabona nto yimbi. Kaloku inyathi ibuzwa kwabaphambili.
Ngoku ndibonile uba ungaya ekholeji uyoyenza le nto uyenzayo, ungaya naseyunivesithi uyoyenza le nto uyenzayo, but ixhomekeke kule nto ifuna uyenza ukuba like bayenza kakuhle na eyunivesithi okanye bayenza kakuhle na ekholeji. But ndifumanesekile uba ekholeji indawo right for le nto ndiyifunayo.
Ibone ntoni apha ekholejini engekhoyo hla eyunivesithi?
Apha ekholeji ndibone benza izinto practical, but eyunivesithi bahlala phansi then bafunde.
uHannes Wessels uyingcaphephe ucebiseni abafundi ngokuphathelele kwizakhono kunye namaziko emfundo afanele isakhono esithile, education psychologist ngolwasemzini. Sifuna ukuqonda ukuba ingaba yintoni into eyenza amaziko afana neYunivesithi ibe yeyona inomtsalane kunawo onke.
In the past, especially in South Africa, there's a perception that a degree in a university equates to more money, which is not always the case in that sense, especially in a modern economy.
Wessels uthi ngokungalandeli izifundo ezigxininisa ukuhlohlwa kobuchwepheshe kunye neminye imisebenzi yezandla kucutha amathuba okuzenzela ingeniso. Into ebangela uba umuntu angaqesheki kuba akanazo izakhono ezifunwa ngamandla luqoqosho.
Degrees are functional, diplomas are functional if they teach you a skill set that you can contribute to the economy or enhance your ability to survive. But at the moment, that doesn't guarantee that. And what happens is a lot of people then limit their behavioral repertoire, so their skill sets that they need to adapt to their situation.
Ukuphepha lo ngxaki eliphulo lihlohla izakhono lithi livulela abafundi amathuba okusebenza ngelixa umuntu esafunda. Ingaba xa ukhetha ikhondo lomsebenzi leliphi iziko libona lifanelekile ukufezekisa loo nto ujonge ukuba yiyo? Kuvisile Mdoda, Yilungelo Lakho.
Sibonge kakhulu kubaba uVuyisile Mdoda ngalo mbiko asididiyele wona. Now to take our discussion further on the importance of choosing, of course, the best institution for your career needs. Let's extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Bob Williamson. Now, he is the president of the International Special Tooling and Machining Association. Sinayo nobhuti uMpiyakhe Dlamineke, yena uyi-researcher and data scientist, umele i-Free Market Foundation of South Africa. Sibe naye on our far left corner lapha ubaba Aurelio Greg Kumbo. He is the chairman of the National Technologies Implementation Platforms. Gentlemen, what a pleasure. Happy 2020. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the show. Hi, Bob.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
Absolutely.
I'm pleased to be with you.
Absolutely amazed to have you here with us. I just want to quickly know a bit about your foundation. Tell us a bit about what you do.
Okay, ISMA is an association of international tooling associations, 21 countries, which tears back to just over 8,000 companies and members. To give you an idea of size, it's got an estimated combined turnover of about 120 billion US.
Wow. Per annum.
And, you know, we're privileged as South Africa to have the chair at the moment. And I put it down to the fact that the world has recognized the very switched-on skills development program that's uniquely South African, that's actually being admired by the rest of the world.
You know, I'm going to interrogate you further on that, on the fact that we are admired by the rest of the world. Our education system is admired by the rest of the world. Mbiyak, kunjani but usichazele kabanzi nge-foundation ovela kuyona wena, and usichazele ukuthi, do you also share the same sentiments as uBob ukuthi amazwe amanye, they looking upon our education system as being one of the amongst the best in the world?
Yebo ngiyajabula ukuba nawe sisi ngiyavumelana noBob ngento ayishoyo ukuthi imfundo eSouth Africa makufika kulama skills langa advanced ibaluleke kakhulu emhlabeni, it's one of the best njengoba esho. Yeah, so kodwa inkinga ukuthi ke ufikisa kanjani, kodwa sokhuluma ngalokho ubafikisa kanjani abantu abasesephansi manje lo. So masikhuluma ngeFree Market Foundation siyi policy think tank, kodwa senza nokunye imisebenzi practical njenge NGO. So imisebenzi esiyenzayo e-practical sine project kuthiwa i-Khaya Lami project lapho ekunikezwa khona ama-title deeds abantu abahlala emalokishini abangazange bawathola ama-title deed ngoba kade phethwe uhulumeni walezo y'khathi lezo ngomasipala. So senza imisebenzi kanjalo kanye ne-research kwama-policies. Sicabanga ukuthi ama-policies angamele ukuthi angakhulisa umnotho, ama-policy azoyenza ukuthi abantu basemzansi abase-South Africa babe nenkululeko eningi ukuthi bakwazi ukuyisebenzise.
So kahle kahle nini nibheka ama-skills ukuthi adingekaphi futhi atholwa kanjani?
Asibhekanga ama-skills per se kodwa nje sibheka ukuthi inakhunjani abantu babe nenkululeko ukuthi mawufuna ukwenza into ethize, mawufuna uthola iskill ethize, ukhululeke ukwazi ukuyikhethela iskill, kungabi khona into ekuvimbayo, ikakhulukazi lento ekuthiwa ama-regulation, ungavinjwa izinto mhlampe ezibekwe uhulumeni ngandlela ethize. So kube nje ukuthi into ekuvimbayo kuphela ukuthi ukhethe iskill esingafunwa umnotho, kodwa mawukhethe iskill esifunwa umnotho ukungabi nankinga ukwazi ukungena emsebenzini usebenze.
All right, let's welcome also Mr. Greg Greg Kumbo. Greg, I hope I've actually got your surname pronunciation perfectly. You are Italian gentleman this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us a bit about your organization and also how it ties in with the rest of our guests on the panel today.
So the organization grew out of a need from the industry to fill a gap that has been created because of the lack of skills.
Yeah.
And we have an aging population of tool makers, and this prompted the industry to find a partnership with the DTI to create a program, an initiative to bring these skills back to an international standard. And the link, of course, is anybody that is interested in manufacturing is interested in the program that we have developed. And we then have, from this development, created this international link where Bob became the chairman, the president of ISTMA.
All right, now Aurelio, I mean, you're talking about how we often hear the phrases of a skills shortage in South Africa, but yet we have so many graduates that are sitting at home that cannot get employment. Why is it like that? Because you're saying that we do have one of the best education systems that the rest of the world is looking unto.
Yeah, we have to imagine that skills are like a triangle. So we have these higher education skills sitting at the top of the triangle. Then we have the technical skills which fill the middle sector of this triangle. And you can imagine as you go down in the triangle, the volume of job opportunities are bigger.
Yeah.
So this is the gap that we have to fill, is this middle gap where people start to learn technical skills, become artisans, which is something that we have lost. And we need to bring those skills back. And this is what preempted us in bringing this program into existence.
And then, Biaka, why do you think there wasn't an emphasis on ama-skills lawa ashodayo, lawa ekuthiwa ayashoda la eSouth Africa, yet abantu bonke bayofunda engineering, bayofunda ini le ekuthiwa isemgangathweni at that time?
So into engibona ngathi ezinye zeinkinga esibe nazo eSouth Africa ukuthi lezo lezi azikho ayihlukene zihlangene. Mawubhekisisa kahle i-basic education system ukuthi siyakwazi ukukhiqiza abantu abazi i-maths, i-physics, abakwazi konke lokho, abakwazi ukungena kulama skills lawo. Enye into phela kuzoba i-financing ukuthi bayakwazi ukuthi mase usuphasile kahle i-maths ne-physics uyakwazi ukuthola imali ukuthi uqhubeke phambili uyofunda lama skills ake sikhuluma ngawo. Bangakho abantu aba-available bafundise lama skills lawo, imaphi ama-institutes noma ama-college available ukuthi afundise, and lawo ma-institutes lawo i-quality yakhona kanjani. So izokolezi zomele uyicabangisise kahle mawubheka lento lena, and mawubheka nje lokwemfundo ku-basic education, i-maths ne-physics, South Africa sinenkinga enkulu kabi nalokho. Sahluleka namanje ukuthi sikufundise kahle. So iloko komele sindlule kuko, ngeke kwenzeke kalula, komele sindlule sikwazi ukufundisa i-maths ne-physics kahle kakhulukazi.
All right. Now, Bob, let's talk about the South African educational system. You said it's amongst one of the best in the world. Let's juxtapose it with the international community. Let's talk there.
I'm specifically talking about tool making, and let me start off by saying it's often said to me we used to train good tool makers, and people are talking about pre-94.
Yeah.
Let me tell you now, it's actually not totally true. We trained some good tool makers, but most of our tool makers were imported from Europe or States or wherever.
Yeah.
They became the guys who went into business, became the entrepreneurs, and became industry leaders. But that model's not sustainable. For us to survive as a country and have a thriving manufacturing sector, we have to have our own tooling industry, homegrown. So the program that we've developed reaches out. identifies inherent skills in youngsters. They've got to have a strong aptitude towards maths and science.
From which stage, Bob?
We're talking about...
Primary school level?
Well, we're talking about generally post-matric.
Okay.
But they've got to have a strong inclination towards maths and science and have an aptitude towards the trade. So we pre-select them and put them through an intensive program. But industry also wants people who are plug and play. So instead of actually placing them with a tradesman, we have an intensive program where they're under continuous mentorship. We also employ trained psychologists who are there to overcome any disadvantage that these students may have. We don't give somebody an opportunity to come on the program because they've got a disadvantage, but we provide the means to overcome the disadvantage. But the bottom line is, this qualification that we've developed, and it's quite a complex program, is not only approved by our own educational standards authorities to NQF level 5, it's also cross-referenced against an international standard, the NIMS qualification in the standard, which means that our tool makers are of the same standard that's coming out of Boeing aircraft.
You know what, Bob? I want to ask you, but I want to take a quick ad break. I mean, the importance, maybe to give us an example of what, a basic tool maker does and why that skill is so crucial to our economy. We're going to take a quick ad break in Mbugeli. Now, unfortunately, we're not live today, but you can still drop your comments on our Facebook page as well as on our SMS's word. We're coming back shortly after this with more of Yilungelo Lakho. Sikwamukele futhi sicela uqaphele ukuthi namhlanje we are not live asisakazi bukhoma kodwa ke you can still drop your comments lapha on our Facebook page and our email consumer@sabc.co.za and of course kuma SMS line wethu ngihleli lana nobaba uBob Williamson ubhuti uMpiya Dlamini and Aurelio Greg Kumbo basichazela ukuthi ke wena njengoba usuzoqala impilo yakho njengomfundi uya eTVET College uya euniversity yiphi izinto ekumele uyicabangisise ukuthi uma ukhetha ukuthi uye university noma e-college iziphi izinto ekumele uyicabangisise before wenza leyo choice because it will affect ukuthi uyaqashwa kanjani uma phela usuqedile ngezifundo zakho. Now Mpiya, let's talk about that. I mean, what becomes the biggest problem particularly for South Africans mesekuthiwa useqedile ku-matric sekufuneka aye kwi-higher learning ngizwile ukuthi ubalile indaba zokuthi there are cost issues indaba zeyimali and accessibility to that higher education, but why kungakaze sibe ne-program do you think lana eMzansi enza sure ukuthi zonke lezi zinto esikhuluma ngazo namhlanje people are made aware ukuthi there are alternatives and university does not necessarily guarantee you a job. Simzwile ubaba laphana ku-insert uthi a university degree or diploma does not necessarily mean ukuthi you're going to get a high income as purported in the media or widely in the country.
Uqinisile ubaba and uqinisile uma uthi imali ayanele ukuthi ingachaza ukuthi indaba kwenzeka lezinto lezi. I think ukhona i-element ye-culture lana ukuthi indlela esibheka ngayo izinto. Ngiyakhumbula nami ukuthi ngathi ngise high school bengicabanga nje ukuthi hayi ngifuna ukuya university yabo bengayicabanga nje indaba yama skills
ungelutho nje mungayanga evarsity
and manje ilethu okwenzeka kimi ukuthi kwathi mase ngifailile UCT sebengixoshile phela ngoba ngifailile
uke wafaila nsizwa
ngafaila
kwabanzima kakhulu
futhi ngiyathanda ukukhuluma ngawo ngoba ngifuna ukukhombisa abantu ukuthi yabona akusihlazo noma into sokumele manje uhlala uyicashela njalo so ngahluleka ngabuyela ekhaya and then ngayifundisa programming. So njengoba ekhuluma ngetooling manje amanye ama skills afunekayo labo njengabo programming ukuthi uyakwazi ukwenza khona yama field amasha manje sevele njengabo data science or web development even nala imishini le esebenza kuwo lama tooling eminye yayo idinga ukuprogram ona so amathuba maningi ngale ndlela and khona lapho mawufuna ukufunda khona akubizi as much money ngoba into efunekayo lapha ukuthi nje mawungahlala ku YouTube mawune access to internet ubheke ufunde kulabantu laba abafundisayo baningi abantu abafundisa for free online and then ufunde and then ukwazi ukuthi uapply lawo ma skills lawo and then bese ulibo apply upractice until uzobe good enough ukuthi ungene ecompany so there any option leyo ngaphandle kwalama kuba artisan but wonke lama option lawo into anayo in common common ukuthi akwazi ukuthi awokuvumela ukuthi ungene kuma field ala asebenzisa ama practical skills so that depends uzongena kuphi uzongena ku programming ko artisan noma kodwa sekuku but uthola nje field ezokwazi ukuthi kufake entweni ebalekile ezokufaka endaweni edinga ama skills.
You know, Aurelio, he states a very important fact that you know, he didn't make it through varsity, he failed and he got kicked out, but he never gave up because he knew that he could do something else with his life. But you know, that's not the message that we're getting, that is resonating with most school leavers or people that have tried at varsity or couldn't even get access to university. So how do we then change the mindset that, you know, university is the only way that you can actually get a proper job after you leave school?
I think the issue here is that they don't get exposure to what is actually available in terms of career paths.
The students, in this case,
Yes. So it's very important.
And whose fault is that, do you think, Aurelio?
Well, I think the environment that they live in doesn't give them that opportunity.
Yeah.
So I think a program like this is very opportune to be able to convey that message to the potential students. And they should, in themselves, try to identify what things really grab them, what is sitting in their heart, what is something that they're passionate about, and start to identify their career paths by that passion that is within.
But then, of course, we can't have that if the teachers are not willing or they're you know, willing to assist the students, and we have parents, you know, people come from broken homes, and you consider all those backgrounds, Aurelio. So where does one even begin to start to say, you know what, let me go here and equip myself with this particular knowledge?
Yeah.
And when should they start thinking about that? Grade 9 or in matric?
Well, I think inherently you're almost born with a certain career path within you.
Skill, your
because
talent.
that skill is something that you grow up with.
Yeah.
So certainly your environment is part of that development. And if your environment doesn't allow you that opportunity, it's also difficult to develop those inherent things that are inside the student. So we have to try and nurture these things by giving them exposures. And students often have access to things like a cell phone. So they can get onto the internet. And instead of playing games, they should start to look at what opportunities and what kind of things are actually being done. Maybe they like to think about a career path which is sexy, which is attractive.
Yeah.
So this is what makes students' hearts open up to actually venturing into something which they are passionate about.
Yeah.
And I think that's where students have to start. So get onto your cell phones, get exposure. There's a lot of information out there that's available. So go and explore what opportunities there are in terms of career paths.
All right. Now, you know, Bob, I still want to know about, you know, what this tooling is all about, because you feel it's very important for our economy. But my director tells me that we have to take another quick ad break. So, Mbogeli, hlala nje kanjalo, we're coming back with more of Yilungelo Lakho shortly after this. Welcome back. Well, remember, we are not taking any of your calls as today's program is not live. Kodwa ke siyaqhubeka nenkulumo yethu lapho sibheka khona ukuthi phela njengoba sekuyisikhathi sokuthi nina nibuyele ezikoleni or wena you starting out esikoleni esibizwa i-higher learning institution, iziphi izinto ekumele uyiconsideration before you sign off your life ukuthi i-career path yakho izoba njani ke. Ungasithinta on our Facebook page as well as consumer@sabc.co.za. All right, gentlemen, so Bob, let's get to that question. I mean, you spoke about tooling being very important to our economy, talking about people building Boeings just by possessing that skill. Maybe give us an example, basically, of what a person who does tooling actually does.
All right, the simplest definition of tooling is it's the means by which you make stuff.
Okay.
So you can't make anything if you haven't got tooling.
Okay.
If you don't have a tooling industry, you won't have a manufacturing sector. And just to destroy another myth, I once listened to a presentation by a speaker from British Aerospace, and he was saying the most dominant background for executives in British Aerospace was that of a toolmaker.
Ah.
So it's a trade which inculcates lateral thinking. generally in the motor industry, most of your process engineers, most of your department managers all come from the trade of toolmaking.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, a lot of these toolmakers go on to get degrees themselves, and I'm not poo-pooing the need for, graduate engineers. But we need this level of lateral thinking. It also links into how efficient our manufacturing sector is, because, and I don't want to make this too complicated, but literally 60% of the manufacturing efficiency of anything that's made is linked to the tool that you select in the process.
Okay.
Which means a tool isn't something that you buy off the shelf. It's highly subjective and has to be designed to be efficient. So if we have our own capable tooling industry, we can make our industry more efficient. And, and I mentioned earlier that we've got an abundance of untapped talent, and it's all about talent-driven innovation. I mean, you must have seen it in the townships. You see the kids who haven't got toys, and they make the toys.
Yes.
These wire.
Very innovative, those wire cars,
that's
yes.
raw, untapped talent, innovation. And if we can train it and direct it, we can become world beaters. We really can. It's exciting.
Punpia, bekune announcement lana ekhishwe i-Department of ilokhozana i-basic education bakhuluma lana ukuthi abafundi sebezokhona ukuthi baphume ku grade 9 if ekhetha. But I think there was a misunderstanding because abantu bebecabanga ukuthi manje kushiwo ukuthi masufika ku grade 9 or standard 7 usuthola isitifiketi njengo matric, then you don't need to go to school. Awusichazele, how do you read into this whole announcement, and does it make sense particularly for i-topic esikhuluma ngayo namhlanje ukuthi maybe we need to start at looking at ways lapho abafundi bezothomama khona bezokhona ukuthi bafunde into umuntu vele le agudi kuyona.
So le announcement lokhuluma ngayo inikeza abafundi ithuba, akusho ukuthi uyaphoqeleka ukuthi uphume, so uzolithola ithuba. So mawubhekisisa kahle ama statistics ukuthi ama dropouts indlela akhula ngayo nokuthi baningi abantu hundreds of thousands aba drop out before baqede ka matric, kimi kwenza sense lento ukuthi kumele wenze kanje ukuthi ubanikeze abantu option. Umuntu vele makuthi uzoyeka ngcono aphume ne-petty certificate, so uzobona ke mayisephandle ukuthi uthola kanjani lawo ma-skills apho. Ikuphi okungcono ukuthi ayeke engaphethe certificate noma aphume petty certificate, so kumele uyibuze lokho. Bese ukuthi mase ngibuya kule point leli lama-skills ukuthi yabona abantu bayithatha bayi-complicate indaba yama-skills. Into oyenzayo uma ufuna ama-skills ubheka umnotho walapho uhlala khona. For example, uma uhlala elokishini njengalapha engakhula khona emadadeni, uyabheka ukuthi yena imaphi umnotho wakhona uhamba kanjani, yiphi ama-skills afuneka. For example, khona iy'phaza shop, so uma ukuthi umuntu ofuna ukwazi ukuthi uphathwa kanjani ibhizinisi, ungahamba uyocala lapho ukuthi ngicela ukusebenzisana nawe, ngifuna ukusiza mhlampe nge-accounting yakho, and then ngizofunda kanjalo mina ama-business skills. So iziningi izinto ongazenza noma ngathiwa unamali at all. So ama-skills isikhathi esiningi abantu abanama-skills ba-willing ukuthi bakuphe wona mahhala, kunje ufike wena uthi hayi uzehlise wena uyibeke phansi ukhume nayo umuntu.
Aurelia, let's talk about this. Maybe let's backtrack a little bit. Let's talk about how maybe other countries actually approach learning in relation to their economic needs. As you were saying now that you need adaptive skills for whatever economic industry or surrounding you come from. We also heard from the insert there, our guest was saying that most university leavers actually need a skill set to adapt to their current situation. And that is why they find problems with employment or getting that job. They do have the job, but they just cannot perform.
Correct. I think that when you follow an academic path, you follow a theoretical path. You then have to apply that and gain the experience in the workplace. In our program, the NTIP program, there's a difference. The students actually follow a 3-month practical course every year where they are employed in industry, doing practical work. So they are actually getting their practical experience.
And the exposure,
and the exposure to what they want. We also rotate the students through different industries so that they can also find the niches where they feel most comfortable in. And they will then end up deciding on what their career path after the qualification and ensuring that they go into something which they're really passionate about. And passion leads to success.
Absolutely. So they need to find that thing that they're passionate about so that they in turn
Correct.
can be successful. Bob, very quickly, we're going to an ad break. I mean, we know that we're heading to the 4th Industrial Revolution. And let's talk about maybe its main feature. And is our education system in South Africa ready for it?
Okay, let me start off by saying 4IR is not a technology, it's actually a period.
Yeah.
It's an event.
Yeah.
When all these new technologies are going to be applied, so it's going to affect every industry. And the tooling industry, like every other, will start using these technologies to move forward. Here again, we've got another massive advantage.
But isn't that then begs the question, aren't the skills going to be a necessity if we're heading towards the 4th Industrial Revolution, where we're getting all the machinery substituting the workers, the labour market?
Yes, they are, but we haven't got any preconceived ideas. I mean, you hear people talking about disruptive technologies.
Yeah.
One of the best examples in the world of a disruptive technology is Uber.
Yeah.
Now, most people will say, where's the birthplace of 4IR, or 4.0 as the Germans like to call it?
Yeah.
Germany? Which country has banned Uber? Germany. Because they're resistant to change. Can you fight these technologies? No, you can't. You've got to embrace them and use them. And because, you know, we haven't got this preconceived notion and this sort of inbred disposition to the old technologies. We're going to adapt faster than other countries. So I think we can get there a lot quicker.
Yeah,
it's
so
exciting.
we just need to put our minds in that adaptive state, basically, and not be resistant to change. All right, Mbogeli, we're coming back with more of this. It's such a topical topic. Mbogeli, you can still contact us there on consumer@sabc.co.za. If you want to drop your comments, nomubuzo mbuzo, and of course you can find us on our Facebook page. Siyabuya khona manje emva kwaleli khefu. Welcome back. It is 2020 and of course uyazi ukuthi ama students sekumele abuyele esikoleni. Sikhuluma ngokuthi ke yiziphi izinto ekumele uyicabangisise Mbukeli uma ngabe wena usuzoya kuleyo high learning institution. Akhona ama TVET colleges sizwile ku grade 9 usungakhona ukuthola isitifiketi uphume lapho uhambe uyofunda into ehambelana nomzimba wakho nenhliziyo yakho nokuthi wena uyayithanda uphiwe kuyona. You don't necessarily need to go to matric, but then akushiwongo babukeli njengoba echazile uBonpi yakhe ukuthi kuthiwa no mawufika ku standard 7 usuzophuma esikoleni sithi bye bye kuwena. I am sitting in studio with 3 lovely gentlemen. I'm talking about ubaba Bob Williamson, uBonpi yakhe Dlamini, as well as Aurelio Greg Kumbo. Basichazela ke Mbukeli ukuthi what are some of your options as you head into this space? Bonpi yakhe, I mean, let's talk about this. I mean, let's talk about artisan skills. How important are they particularly to the South African economy? We've heard ukuthi kunama projects. I remember there was an artisan project in the government. Fine, good report ukuthi it didn't go well because of certain things were not considered. But I mean, projects like that, if they were given the proper time and ilokuzana ukunakekelwa lokho kudingayo, do you think they actually could work ukuthi kufocus kuma artisan skills?
So before ngisebenze Free Market Foundation ngeke ngasebenza nase Eskom ngi-water plant operator. So laphana besisebenza nama artisan amaningi. And inkinga lapha oyibonayo ngoma artisan ukuthi equality yalama institution abaqhamuka ku ama TVET colleges isikhathi esiningi kuyaye kube nenkinga ngoba ngathi ama skills mawufuna ukuba nama skills azongifaka abantu emnothweni kumele ukhulume nabantu akumele babaqhashe kula makampani lawa yiwo amakampani azi ukuthi adinga ama skills njengala SABC for example the best way ukuthi SABC ithole o cameraman ukuthi mhlambe ifundisele bona that's the best way ngoba umuntu uzowazi ngempela ukuthi kumele enze umsebenzi
uyasho umputhu uthola icontract emva kwa 10 months
exactly ngicabanga bona lokho so ngisho wona lo so izinto kanjalo kumele ubheke ukuthi industry amakhampani afunani so uhulumeni mayikuthi mayefuna ukuprovide yena le mfundo lena angiboni ukuthi indlela ezosiphumelelisa leyo kumele akhulume namakhampani then i-discussion sizoba around ukuthi ikhokhelwa kanjani le mfundo eprovidwa i-private sector ngoba yibo abantu abadinga lama skills yibo abantu abaziyo ukuthi ama skills afunekayo.
Okay, and ngicela uchazela mawuthi artisan mhlambe Bonpi yakhe awubekela umuntu osekhaya because leli gama it's been thrown around a lot and it actually implies ukuthi umuntu osebenza ngezandla umsebenzi wezandla but awusichazela ukuthi what type of ama-careers akhona lapha mubiza umuntu njenge-artisan umsebenzi onjani awenzayo.
So it's one of izinto eziyenzeka under engineering kuba i-artisan.
Yeah.
So kahle usuke sort of like i-assistant umuntu ozoba more practical, whereas i-engineer izofocus ukuthi more theoretical like code design, system, considering system yonke.
So when uyophula amapayipi nezipanela lapha.
Yeah, so for example eplantini ngisasebenze power station eplantini makunenkinga uzobiza i-artisan ngoba umuntu ozoyilungisa, and then i-system yonke mayinenkinga lapho uzobiza khona u-engineer. But makunenkinga mhlambe kune let's say kubhoboke ipipe elithize uzobiza i-artisan kube umuntu ozolungisa la. So lapho unabantu abafana abaka mechanical, unabantu abenza ugesi, khona abantu abenza abadila ngama-tools and so on and so on. So maningi ama-field under ama-artisan, but wonke in common into ukuthi wena kufocusa kakhulu into practical laphana, indlela abafundiswa ngayo, and then bese uba khona bese ufunda trade, and then samele uyenza i-private ube ne-experience ku-private sector mhlambe ku-company ethize. So kuziningi izinto ezinvolved ba-artisan, but into ebalulekile kakhulu compared to amanye ama-field ukuthi it's very, very practical.
All right. Now, really, let's talk about this. Maybe we spoke about the skills shortage, and he's basically saying that maybe government, in order for them to intensify where they actually look for placement for these learners that are doing specialized skills, they need to go to these companies because it's the companies that actually know what type of skills they're looking for. But how do we do that then from basic education to higher education to then higher learning institutions?
We have to create a system that has a value chain which takes the students from a young age and start to develop these students into different career paths. And if we talk about students exiting the academic career path at Standard 9, they should then think about following an artisanal career path.
Grade 9,
but we need to provide the possibility for them to follow that career path by having things like technical schools that teach basic skills like carpentry, building, mechanical engineering, mechanics, electricians. And when you get into the higher levels, these people then will also become machinists and operators in factories. They will become tool makers, tool designers, metrologists, people that are looking after quality control. So there's a huge career path that can be followed in this middle sector of opportunities in careers.
You know, I was actually watching another program on this other channel that deals, I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about, but they were talking about a plant here, and I saw these women. I didn't even know that it's a car company. It's one of the best luxurious models of cars you can drive in. And these women were literally sitting there stitching the seats, and I found out these seats are actually specialized. You can never get them anywhere else in the world. And these women were making a killing. But now, Bob, why are these skills not glamorized? Like, you know, you get people that work behind the scenes. Like even here in studio, people are seeing me, but I've got a whole bunch of people behind me that are supporting, making it happen that I'm on television.
That's a good question. But let me say something that was going to surprise you. Our top performers on our program are female. Our top 25% are all female.
Yeah.
Toolmakers. Yeah. Because there's no physicality required anymore. You know, I mean, the trades are becoming very computer driven. Because of these technologies. And so it's all about selecting the right sort of aptitude for the job. Another point that we should actually set straight, you know, we talk about earning power and the earning power of a graduate. Well, the fact is, somebody who actually does a trade, who qualifies in their early 20s, earns a very good income.
That's true.
It will probably take the graduate well into his mid to late 30s before they catch up. And it's often the tradesman who goes into business on his own and sets up his own business. You know, if you're a civil engineer specializing in bridge building, it's very difficult to start your own company.
That's very true, yeah. Very interesting observation. So now, Mbeke, let's talk about this. And I like the fact that Bob has mentioned it. We still live around the stereotype emzansi sokuthi cha la kusebenza omama, la kusebenza amadoda, particularly in things like mining. I mean, I've done a lot of mining, particularly in the previous year. It was part of a huge mining project. And the things that I learned there and the challenges that the women face. And I mean, I wasn't even on that level where I was going underneath the trenches to dig up anything. I was just trying to conduct meetings and so forth. forth. But I found it very difficult for men to even listen to us when we come and sit in those meetings and conduct them. So we're still suffering from leyo nto yokuthi amadoda akakhona ukwenza ukuthi amantombazana akakhona ukwenza ukuthi. But isn't that limiting itself?
Ya yabona mona lo mqondo lo impela khona imali khona iningi imali ezokulahlekela empilweni yakho mona lo mqondo lo ngoba abantu abakwazi ukwenza izinto
overall amantombazana
yabona abantu abakwazi ukwenza izinto bavela kuwo wonke wena abantu besifazana abantu besilisa ngeke usho wena umuntu omnyama umuntu omlungu so abantu abanama skills bavela yonke indawo so mawuzolimita wena uthi hayi ngifuna amadoda noma ngifuna abantu abamnyama kuphela ilapho ozolahleka khona kumele ubheke mawufuna ama skills kumele ubheke kuwo wonke umuntu so inkinga leyo kumele ishintshwe leyo and mawubheka lokho enye into futhi ekuyinkinga kakhulu ukuthi abantu besifazane emakhaya ethu amaningi batshela ukuthi bona kumele baclean kumele bageze izitsha benzeni njeni
while belongs in the kitchen
while abafana bona bayakwazi ukuthi ba experiment bafunde o programming benzeni ngoba banesikhathi.
But you see, we can even blame the education system yethu because ngiyakhumbula mina kwakuthiwa sambe siyopheka siyokwenza home economics and the guys were going out beyokwenza woodwork and I was like no mina ngifuna ukwenza lento ngifuna ukuyosika lokhuzana izinto ezisikwayo. Why are you limiting me even from school level? So no teacher, I think they also need to be ukuthi ba educate ukuthi bashintshe mindset.
Thina sasitshela ukuthi hayi uma uphakamise bakubuze mhlawumbe sisafunde primary school okay ufuna ukuba udokotela umuntu wesifazane uthi uyaphakamise ufuna ukuba udokotela hayi awufuni ukuthi ufuna ukuba unesi manje isitay kanjalo kumele iphele ziyasiholda back kakhulu mawubheka nje for example eKwaZulu Natal kule area lapho khona ingonyama trust most of that land mawubhekisisa kahle iphethwe abantu besifazane so into efuze ngabe yenzeka manje ngabe bathola ama title deed labantu labakwazi ukuthi bayiphathele bayirayela ama business abo
yazi mpeka usuqala ama politics when you talk about ama title deeds nabafazi ukuthi kumele ngabe benzani in other areas ngizoba nenhliziyo ebuhlungu kakhulu because I know how this thing actually works ukuthi ave sibekwa ngokuthi wena umfazi wena ukuthi nokuthi you can't even fight over land in this country if umuntu wesifazane or opinion yakho it's like it doesn't even matter. Mbukeli, can you believe it? It's time for our final commercial break. Siyabuya khona manje. Welcome back. It is our last segment. Ke siqhubukeke nenkulumo yethu lapho sikhuluma ngokuthi njengoba wena umfundi uzoqala either eTVET college, euniversity, ecollege, iziphi izinto ekumele uyiconsideration. Of course ukuthi wazi ukuthi phela ungathi uye esikoleni for 5-7 years usuqeda lapho uhlele ekhaya awusakhoni ukuthola umsebenzi. My studio guest this afternoon ubaba Bob Williamson, ubhoti umpi yakhe Dlamini and of course Mr. Aurelio Greg Kumbo. So gentlemen, we're almost done with the show now, but let's talk about this, Bob. How are the other countries then getting the technical versus academic balance right? Let's talk about that.
They're not always getting it right. I mean, they've got a major problem because they're not encouraging youth to go into the trade. So this is why a lot of countries are actually outsourcing their critical tooling to countries like China. Now, you know, when you outsource your tooling, you're giving away your intellectual property and you're giving potential competitor country insight into your manufacturing efficiency. So it's a big problem. And this is why it's so imperative that we develop it, an industry. And, you know, and I would like to emphasize to your viewers, if you want to know more about tooling, look up our program. It's called TD Empowered, Tool, Mold and Die Empowered. We've got 4 centers throughout the country, one in Port Elizabeth, one here in Hermanstad, one in Cape Town, and one in KZN. Fully equipped, driven and manned by industry, latest technology, best money can buy. We invite any potential youngsters, potential candidates for our program, come and have a look. They could even phone me personally.
All right.
I would go out of my way to.
Bob says you can call him and Uti at certain hours he can actually speak isiXhosa, so I'm not sure about that. That's what he said. But Aurelia, let's go back to that. You mentioned a very important thing when we started the show, that we are not exporting the labor skills or the relevant skills to other countries. We know that South Africa has this huge doctor program with Cuba and so forth, and we see the others with engineering going to Germany, as Bob mentioned. But why are we not producing skills that the world is going to want to buy from us? Why are we sitting in that position?
Because we haven't developed the education system to produce these skills. So that's what our program has tried to do now, is to bring that skill back into the education system. And it's a recognized qualification through SAQA, and the diversity that you have in manufacturing is very interesting, because you could actually move out of the curricula, the education curriculum that we have established, because it's modular. So if you can't become a tool maker, you could become a machine operator, or you could become a person who works on an NC machine, or you could become a welder. So the career path is not limited. And because the tool making skills are so diverse, they are useful in all manufacturing aspects. So this is a career path that one can start in and move out if they want to at any point in time, and ensure that they get a job because they have a qualification.
Absolutely. You know, somebody was telling me the other day that to get a plumber these days, it is literally like it's a job. And that plumber is going to get there and charge you per hour, and they're going to charge their own rate. So, Mpiake, it really is important ukuthi sikhiphe lento emqondweni ukuthi muye university. That's the only way ongathola umsebenzi oright ozobukholela kahle futhi.
Sengivala
ngoba naku ungagqoka isudu emsebenzini, it means awubalekile.
Sengivala nje sisivele mina isudu angisoze ngigqoke. But sengivala nje ngisho ukuthi into content ezingenziwa uhulumeni into yokuqala ngayenza ukuthi angavumela i-private sector ukuthi izakhele ama own education institution kubo government ukuthi afande kuphela yena ukuthi akhiphe imali ukuthi abafundi bafunde, ngoba i-private sector yezuphuma nama skills, yabantu abadinga ama skills. On the other side kuwe wena njengomfundi kumele ubheke ukuthi ungathola lapha ama skills adingakalayo noma izinto oyithandayo kodwa idingakalayo futhi emnothweni. So whether ukuya ku internet, whether ukuya komunye umuntu onaleso skill leso ukuthi umcele umncenge ukuthi akufundise ukuthi yabo, angithi into engimangazayo ngabantu ukuthi abantu bayakwazi ukuthi bakhokhe ama-1,000 baye e-university, kodwa uma ungathi sebenza mahhala uzofunda iskill umuntu uyala, kodwa usave imali, ecabanga usave imali ngokusebenza nje mahhala. E-university ubakhokhelayo ukuthi usebenze, ukuthi ubhala ama-test ufunde nani, kodwa uma usebenzela umuntu mahhala ukhokhi lutho. And enye into futhi nami eyangisiza ukuthi ngifunde. So izinto kanjalo kumele uyicabange njengomfundi, kube ucabangisa kosomabhizinisi kuyo yonke into oyenzayo, ungacabangisi nje ubeke ucabanga ukuthi konke ezokusiza qualification kuyodwa isiza.
Don't be limited to ilokhuzana syllabus ukuthi ikufundiseni.
It's all about qualification, not skills. It's all about skills, not qualifications.
All right. Utha ufuna ugqoka isuit, so I'm not going to ask you any further questions. Bob, just to wrap it up, I know we've got like 30 seconds. I mean, don't you think by going the technical route now, we're playing catch up as other countries are actually way ahead of us? Very quickly.
I'd like to think that with our attitude and the programs that we've developed, they'll be playing catch up with us. All we need to do is get the right levels of funding in place. Because we do have problems there.
Let's leave it there. Bob has given us his contact details as well as Aurelio Greg Kumbo. That was Mr. Bob Williamson. Mpiake Dlamini, my guest today, besichazisela mbukeli ukuthi wena njengomfundi njengoba uzobuyela esikoleni, what are some of the most important things and points that you need to ponder upon before usayina ukuthi uye TVET College uyakuphi? Isiphi iskill good ngaso? Mina ngikho ngokuhlala la ngikhulume nani ngithi yazini ngizonibona ke next week mangabe sikhona next week isi live. Thank you so much for joining us. Uyazi iyaphinda futhi uhlelo lethu every Thursday khona la mahamba phambili SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. For myself uAlisha uNhlanhla kaJali ngithi nje happy 2020 and nenze lawo ma decisions right, no? Bye bye.